nearly perfect is a very subjective statement. You might not like blue dialed watches or chronographs or sports pieces. You might not like watches on bracelets. You might not like pilot watches or specific brands. So saying that this is nearly perfect, you might look at it and go, no way, Bruce, that's nowhere close to being perfect. But I beg to differ. And I might be a little bit biased. This watch belongs to me. I've had it for a couple months, and I've really enjoyed wearing this in rotation alongside Rolex and Longines and Tudor and the other watches that I regularly wear. This really holds its own. I think IWC has brought a very strong sport watch to the market, and I have no problems in saying it's nearly perfect. This, if we look at the specific elements, it's really up there. And so as a whole, it's a strong package, but is it perfect? No, definitely not. There is room for improvement, and I'll go through those elements here as we progress through the video. So let's start with the fit and the finish. This watch is smaller. It used to be 43 millimeters in the previous version, and I think the 41 millimeter scale down is just ideal. It fits a wide range of wrists. It looks great. It looks proportional. It has that heft and presence and light play that I really enjoy, but it's not overly heavy or clunky or chunky or too dominant. This really has that feeling of quality, and you notice the finishing. You notice how solid this tapering bracelet is, and it really is enjoyable to wear. And just for reference, my wrists are 7.25 inches in circumference. You'll notice that most of the watch is brushed, so that helps, emphasize the fact that this is a more toolish sport watch, and it's not an ostentatious piece. It's not blingy, so it really grabs attention, it grabs light, I think for the right reasons. It's more subtle in its sharpness and in its beauty than if this was a high polish and a little bit blingy, a little bit ostentatious. Not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. In certain instances, I prefer watches like that. But for a daily driver, I like the finishing. I like the use of polishing. I like the presence, the size, the proportions, the light play. And I think this is aided by the fact that we have very good anti-reflective treatment on this sapphire crystal. It helps you look at the blue dial to just a nicer degree of clarity without some distraction, but with the added blue iridescent sheen off of direct light in specific angles. So I think, again, it's a very sharp looking watch without being ostentatious. I like the sunray. I like the white contrast with your indexing and your long handset here, your broad handset. And I like how those hands are repeated, in miniature in your sunken sub-registers. They carry the concentric circle guilloche texturing. There's the slightest use of red as an accent color to help guide your eye to the subsidiary seconds. And so everything on the dial feels balanced, feels well laid out, and the detail work is again, very crisp. I like the fact that we have the day, the date, we have sub-seconds, we have elapsed minutes, and then we have elapsed hours. So there's a good mix of complications here with an in-house movement that you can now view through an exhibition crystal. This is the caliber 69-385. It's an in-house design. It's a column wheel chronograph with 231 components, including a vertical clutch. So use this as much as you want. There will be no jump. You can leave the chronograph running without putting unnecessary wear and tear on the movement. This is not a unidirectionally winding rotor like a comparable Valjoux movement would be. So there is no wobble with this. We have a bidirectional Paul winding system and 46 hours of autonomy. The movement will have 33 joules, beat at 4 hertz, and carry just really pleasing finish work. A skeletonized rotor, and this will be adjusted in 5 positions, so very well dialed in. And I think it's an improvement that you can see it through an exhibition crystal. And IWC really didn't raise the price of the model too much, considering they went from a Valjoux movement to this in-house caliber 69. Now let's talk about the bracelet here. All of the links are removable. You have a push system on the reverse of the link. It's a tapering bracelet. The previous generation was 21 millimeters straight all the way around. This one again is 20. So if you want to take it off the bracelet for some strange reason, if you're not a bracelet fan, you're going to be able to have more options on not only from the OEM, but from the secondary market as well. And then you have the taper. So it really feels comfortable. It aids in the comfort and the wearability, but you still have the light plate. You still have a very solid, very well constructed bracelet with one of the best clasps in the business with your hidden micro extension system in the polished logo area. Now we have a quick release system here. We have 100 meters of water resistance. Again, we have a very nice anti-reflective treatment, a very nice movement, very nice presence and proportions and color and finishing. Again, this watch is nearly perfect. It's so close to being perfect. What could be done to improve upon this and to make a perfect watch? Ideally, you want a perfect watch. I think the big thing is the lume in low light. We only have it in the cardinal markers and in the main handset. It's not found anywhere else on any of the other indexing or the subsidiary hands. So that's a little bit disappointing. And I'd like to see BGW9 everywhere. If this was awesome and fully loomed, even the indexing, I think that would take it to the next level. The other thing is we do not have marketed anti-magnetic properties because the previous generation, the previous Le Petit Prince, carried a soft iron movement shield to protect the movement against magnetic flux. And this one does not have that Faraday cage anymore. And I couldn't find any information, but I believe this is a classic alloy hairspring and it is not a silicon-based hairspring. So there is no specific anti-magnetic properties. And so if we had that, if we had, say, a silicon hairspring or a paramagnetic ring that, surrounded the movement in the inner portion of the case, if we had some marketed anti-magnetic properties, I think, again, that would bring it up another level. But other than that, it's low pressure resistant, it's water resistant, it has the bracelet, it has the adjustability, it has the finishing, it has the light play, it has the accuracy, it has that element of looking at the heartbeat of the movement and seeing the tech specs, looking at the column wheel and, the tasteful finishing and the skeletonized rotor. I think this is so close to being perfect. I can live with the odd lume. I can live with the fact that this is a standard in-house movement without specific anti-magnetic marketed properties. I don't think I will ever really magnetize this unless I'm doing something dangerous and going around, an item like an MRI machine or something like that. I think for the most part, this is very livable, very versatile, and very beautiful. So tell me if I've hit the mark here or if I'm too biased. I recognize I could be. This is a personal watch that I purchased that I've been wearing for the past couple months that I really, really enjoy. But I think it is strong. It is absolutely worth the retail price. It does beat out a lot of the competition at higher price, the same price, and a couple at lower price segments in the automatic chronograph scene. So tell me what you think. Let me know if I'm off base. Let me know if I'm spot on. And if you're looking for IWC, I'm going to recommend the place that I got this, which is a Watch Exchange Company. I had a very smooth transaction with Matt. So all links will be in the description. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.